presentation about specifically what does the Infor purchase of Saleslogix mean to me as a customer, and we have, next slide. We have three speakers today. Lorcan Malone, who's the Vice President of the Infor CRM Group, Dave Wallace, who is Director of the Product Management and will be covering the roadmap, and myself, Sam Biardo. And with that, we're going to hand everything over to Lorcan. Next slide. Oh, sorry, agenda. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to me. We're going to discuss the roadmap. We're going to talk about what we can do, what it actually, how this will affect you as a customer, and then we'll go through a question and answer period. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Lorcan.
Hey Sam, thanks very much, and thanks for that introduction. Just to start the webinar by just thanking everybody on the call for their business, their loyalty to what was Saleslogix, now Infor CRM, and hopefully many more years of continued business with Tech Advisors and Infor CRM. So if we go to the next slide. So what I wanted to do in my section was give everybody a brief introduction about Infor and why Infor purchased the Saleslogix business and why it made so much sense within the Infor ecosystem to add a CRM solution, and to talk about some of the assets that Infor really bring to bear on top of our solution, and why it will be good for our customers and our business in general that this transaction has taken place. So first of all, on Infor, Infor is typically the largest business software company you've probably never heard of, but it's got 73,000 customers, 13,000 employees, and almost $3 billion in turnover. It is headquartered in New York, and but has big operations in both Atlanta and Minneapolis, but is based right around the world, located in over 200 countries and territories. It typically sells to mid-market, upper mid-market, and large enterprises as the typical customers of Infor. Keep going. And Infor is pretty unique amongst its peers in that it goes to market vertically. So it's organized vertically, and it has a philosophy of delivering the last mile of solutions for its customers. And on this slide, you can see some of the verticals that Infor supports with typical customers in each of those verticals. And as you can see, Infor is the IT business solution for many, many large brand name customers. So why did Infor purchase Saleslogix and create Infor.com? Well, in the gray areas, you can see that Infor's traditional strength has been in the ERP side, asset management, and vertical solutions. What it lacked was a solution to cover some of the purple areas from prospecting to lead gen to opportunities and service. In the past, it has partnered with others, but in order to deliver the end-to-end solution to our customers in a consistent way, Infor decided early this year that it needed to purchase a leading CRM solution to fill that gap in its portfolio. So it went out to market to look at what was out there, and it decided to purchase a Saleslogix. And there's a number of reasons for why Saleslogix made sense, which we'll talk about on the next slide. Number one was solution fit. Already in our ecosystem, we had 300 joint customers that were running both Infor solutions and Saleslogix at the time. Also, we played from a solution in the same market that Infor played. We're strongest in mid-market, upper mid-market, and departments of enterprises. So the market fit was ideal. And then the people fit. So we started talking to Infor in February of this year, and we talked to them for about 6 or 7 months before we executed the deal. And throughout that time, it was clear that from a cultural point of view, from a people fit point of view, and general philosophy as to where CRM is going, we were very, very well aligned. And it made the transaction very easy. It also made the transition into Infor very, very easy for all of our people. And everybody that was on the Saleslogix team within Swift, they transitioned to Infor. And indeed, since then, we've added probably another 20 to 30 heads to the business, and we're continuing to hire as we expand very rapidly. So if we go to the next slide, we'll talk about what Infor brings to Infor CRM. And number one up in the top left box was investment. We have a very strong roadmap and a very clear idea of where we want to take CRM. And we've got a heritage of being an innovator in the CRM market. What Infor brings is further investment, particularly on the R&D side, to allow us to accelerate our roadmap. And you're going to see those changes manifest themselves very quickly in the product, including a major release we have coming out at the end of this week that will deliver a new UI to the entire product. Infor gives us massive distribution, so already we have customers in 60 to 70 countries, but with the Infor distribution, we've got greater reach right around the globe. The brand bit on the top right is important. In a market where our two biggest competitors are Microsoft and Salesforce, the Infor brand gives us a very, very strong brand within the business applications software industry. So that was incredibly important to us. And of course, with a strong brand and being part of a $3 billion company, that takes the question of viability off the table. And then the bottom right is a disruptive strategy, and we want to give you a sense of that today. And we are overlaying the Infor strategy onto Infor CRM. And the Infor strategy itself is very disruptive, as I'll describe later. So the Infor strategy is based on three pillars. One is the architecture of the internet. So that's talking about cloud enabling solutions. But much more than that as well. It's about creating an ecosystem of loosely coupled solutions that can talk to each other through what Infor calls its Infor Open Network, or ION. Now, we were in a fortunate position that we were already fully cloud enabled, running on the Amazon cloud for the last 3 or 4 years. And last summer, Infor signed the biggest business application deal that Amazon has done to date. So all Infor cloud solutions run on Amazon, so we slotted right in there. And Dave will talk a little bit about what we're doing in terms of ION integration and what ION will deliver to our customers over the next 12 months. The micro-vertical strategy, as I mentioned, so Infor is going that last mile for its customers. It's identified about 2,500 micro-verticals. Infor is building some of those solutions, and partners such as Tech Advisors are building some of those solutions as well. And then on the right-hand side is a core philosophy of Infor, and that's about delivering what it terms as beauty as a competence inside the products. So the idea here is 10 or 15 years ago, the business applications that users used were so far ahead of your consumer applications that people went to the office to use great software. But now people go home to use great software, and they use things like Twitter and Facebook and other social media based software, and view a lot of their business applications as being old and out of date. So in order to address that, Infor created its own agency in New York called Hook and Loop. And we go on to the next slide. The purpose of Hook and Loop is to develop new user experiences on our software. So this is not just about look and feel, but this is how people use and engage in our software on a daily basis. And we've already got a project manager appointed to Infor CRM from Hook and Loop. Dave Wallace is working very closely with them. Dave will show you later in this call some of the innovative design concepts they've come up with. But this is a huge asset for Infor. There's over 100 people in this design agency on 6th Avenue in New York. And this is one of the key areas that Infor is differentiating its go-to-market versus its competitors in the market. And from an Infor CRM point of view, and being a customer of Infor CRM, you will benefit from all of those innovative ideas we will be taking to the product over the next number of years, starting this week. And indeed, that Hook and Loop agency is not an agency full of software what you consider traditional software UI designers. These are much more on the artistic side. They don't come from the software industry, and therefore to bring completely new ideas into Infor and to the products in terms of how users should interact with those products. And hopefully that gives you a brief introduction into what Infor brings. It's an incredibly exciting time for the product. The amount of money we're spending on it has accelerated dramatically since Infor took over in September. I think we've almost doubled the size of the R&D organization since that time, but by the time we're finished recruiting, we will absolutely have more than double the size of it. So it's a great time to be an Infor CRM customer, and we look forward to working with you over the coming years. And I'm going to hand over to Dave Wallace, who will tell you what we're doing with the product and where we're taking it. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Lorcan, and go ahead. Yeah, just to continue with what Lorcan was mentioning, the investment with the team has been fantastic, and we've seen our internal team double. We've had a great focus on a number of other teams coming on and helping us with various aspects of the product. The positioning, we've been able to quickly position the product on a number of ways. One of the best ways that we get to is we're Infor CRM. We're the strategic aspect for Infor, the CRM of choice, which has been just fantastic for us. There's been a lot of work with the analysts as well, helping them understand where that is and where we're going. And the news has been very positive and well received. As for the product, we have a number of things that we're very focused on. The integration, obviously, the UI and the UI changes, and we're working with that hook and loop team to increment and rapidly improve and change the interface for the better. As I mentioned, there's a number of teams, the predictive analytics team and things that I'll talk about in a moment, that are reaching out to us and will help us add to our portfolio. The integration, as Lorcan mentioned, we really slotted in architecturally from Amazon's point of view, but we've also slotted in with the type of integration that we do, our architecture of the S-Data web services capabilities and our contract-based data exchange really worked well with Infor strategy. So we'll see that rapidly take off, and I hope to share some of that next. So what I wanted to cover on this part is just to give you an idea that we have an ongoing core product improvement. Even as we go through the acquisition, we've been very productive on a number of aspects. Go ahead. The mobile product has a number of changes. We released 3.1 since then with a number of changes, which included access to groups and mechanisms for groups. We also enabled LAN linkages. So I'm sorry, that's for the XBAR. I'll talk about that in a second. But in this, we have the groups and the KPIs. If you haven't had a chance to see it, it is compatible with the LAN family as well. But you can see as we move into 3.2, our next release coming out this week, as well as additional items, we'll be working with the team to embed mapping and geolocation and some other really great field service or field support or field rep type information. So stay tuned for that. The next one, which is the XBAR. XBAR is our CRM inside Outlook. It's our way of adding just enough CRM to an email user. And when they need to, they can move out from that email and link out to either client, as I was mentioning before, either the LAN or the web client to do deeper work. But the idea is to keep the user within Outlook as much as possible, let them get work done. And in case for XBAR, you have a way to see who they are, why you need to care about them, You can get work done by updating information and adding information notes and creating activities or updating tickets. And you also can search over the information, the CRM information, easily right from here. So it's all contextual and driven as you move from email to email, and you know, things bubble up, such as what you see under the J. Callahan card. In that case, he's in there 6 times as a duplicate, so someone probably needs to look at it. So there's a lot of really great stuff that we're doing there. Both the mobile and XBAR will be configurable, so as you can change the cards by associating it to a particular group. So as you design your groups, and the fields in the groups that you see will be the fields that you see in the cards. Today, mobile will have that, so you can go and see how that looks. And with the future XBAR, we'll also take that characteristic on. Go ahead. And then we'll continue to improve the adaptive platform over the 2015 timeframe. The key one that I get asked about the most is the offline caching. We have access to several resources within Infor that will be helping us do that. They've implemented a number of times, and we'll continue to improve that, as well as the mapping. We'll be introducing workflow and single-step workflow, allowing eventing and notification and alerting. So we're very excited about that. So the platform itself continues to improve and will improve throughout 2015. Workflow, this is an example of workflow, and the emphasis will be on the single step. That allows something to be triggered, so you can monitor certain fields based on that field change. You can trigger a particular action, such as notification. The multi-stage workflow allows us to update sales processes and also incorporate action triggering. So stay tuned for both of those in 2015, and we expect the single-step workflow sometime by April. Next. This is an example of alerting and notification. The idea here is basically there's a set of targets that get identified. We're going to have some fun with this, as this is similar to mail merge, and we'll be combining the goodness of mail merge along with alerting over SMS and other mechanisms. And so you'll see us evolve this concept together. The groups and the structuring groups, this is the example I wanted to share, in the sense that as you change your groups, and everybody loves groups and the fields and items that are in the group, the end user can change. And as they change it and work with that, that's represented in the contact list, or in this case, it should be the account list. And those fields then can be changed. So for the sales guy who has just the one field they're missing, they actually have a way to personalize their experience. The last thing I wanted to mention was just building for cloud first, and we continue to do that. We released a multi-tenant version. Now, what does that mean to everybody? It really means that it's one application we get to spend time on, one platform. But by building for cloud and going through the rigor required to deploy in the cloud, we continue to improve on a number of things: scalability, availability, ability to scale appropriately, and so on. All that we continue to give back to the product as it's one product, and but we just continue to leverage that and to get better and better. So the extending the CRM portfolio, what we give is a huge boost in our ability to move forward with the ION suite and what ION does. And there's a couple aspects. One, it gives us connectivity to the back office. The other aspect is it gives us connectivity to some really cool other tools, and I'll mention those in the next couple slides. But the back office allows us to share information with ERP. So if you have an ERP mechanism that's Infor today, you would have access to a number of business objects and shared across that business object. Go ahead to the next slide. But the other exciting thing that happens is that the Infor suite allows us access to a number of items. One of the most popular one is Mingle, and Mingle is a chatter equivalent. So you'll be able to introduce collaboration into your organization. They also have predictive analytics. They have something called the paparazzi, which follows particular entities around. There's workflow, cross-application workflow, so you can trigger off of cross-application messaging. There's BI and so on. So there's a lot of things that we'll be able to inherit from the suite, bring that back into a seamless experience within Infor CRM. So we're very, very excited about that. I will note just the topmost screenshot is actually the screenshot of the new Mingle iPad visualization. So this gives you access to the community and collaboration from your iPad. Before I leave that, I did just want to note that the ION integration is an open integration, so folks like Sam and Starfish will be able to also participate within that. So if you have products that are not ION or not Infor, it is open. They do have integrations to other ERPs, for example, and we'll be working with folks like Sam to build out and extend that experience for Infor CRM. So the next thing that has everybody very excited is the chance we get to really work with some very high caliber UI designers and interaction designers. And this is an example of the new look that we have. It's an animated GIF that's running through. It is a prototype, and we will be working towards this prototype. The next version that we have actually updates this month, as Lorcan was indicating, and it will take on many of the aspects that you see here today. Some that will be coming later are actually the KPI header, but we are working on that. The next item is the mobile look and feel, and so again, you see a very open, very next generation look and feel for the product. In this case, you'll see an emphasis on taking the mobile application from a broad application to a very task-oriented application, and this is flattening the experience, so really making it easy to get to exactly what you want to do. In this case, it's opportunities, and for most sales reps, they want to change 3 pieces of information, which is stage, value, and close date. And you can see we've embedded a number of items in there that just really make it 3 clicks, and they update their opportunities, so we can keep the data fresh and alive and vital, but also engage the customer. So that's where mobile will continue to go. It'll continue to be revised to meet and streamlined task-oriented processes. The next example is the view of the dashboard and where we're going with the dashboard. So there's a number of visualizations that we'll be introducing over 2015, and we'll continue to improve that going forward. And then the next slide shows off Mingle and what Mingle's all about. So this gives you a look into the feed, the folks that you connect to, as well as those that you follow, and you can contribute and share really at what you would expect in a collaboration tool. So files, videos, and so on. Okay. And then to close, we have the items on the roadmap, and what I want to really talk about is a couple of items. One, which is our vision and what hopefully can help you understand what our choices are and what we're really addressing. One aspect is really engaging the community. We want to be known and recognized as the application that has the highest adoption. I know when I talk to folks in Gartner, they make a comment as we go through the evaluation process that he's always impressed by the customers and how well used or adopted the product actually is. So thanks to those that really use the product and get a lot from it. But the first topic we have here is the engaging my community, and hopefully you can see with the revised visualization as well as the engagement with the hook and loop, we'll be able to realize that dream and further that dream in 2015. But task orientation is big. Bringing big data insight to that, with the KPI header and some of the bubbling up that information that you've seen throughout the examples, as well as a third concept, which is somewhat new to everyone, but the idea of bringing social aspects to allow folks to work in an unstructured way, which is typically how sales guys work, and allowing that to be the easiest as possible. So you'll see that introduced in 2015 through a number of mechanisms. The second aspect is engaging our customers, and part of that is really being driven by some of the new capabilities of marketing automation, and that's to drive reach through digital means, and that's connecting the websites as well as email campaigns as well as other forms of social delivery, but then bringing that in and then driving decisions. And you'll see us really adopting a number of some really high-end tools and incorporating those into Infor CRM to help bubble up cross-sell, upsell, bubble up opportunities, bubble up leads in a way that best meets each of the contributors. So all that is there to keep it engaged, both when to engage a human from the company, but also when to engage a prospect or customer through the automation. So we're real excited about that. And then connect to the things that matter to me. Again, ION helps us to really reach out, bring in all kinds of information to give that 360-degree view. And then as we talked about cloud first, we will continue to be best of breed across the board, whether it's on-premises, in the cloud, or hybrid approaches, which allows us to be CRM in the cloud and back office can remain in the behind the firewall. So we're very excited about where we're going. And to close with the roadmap itself, we're looking at some key releases, and we're trying to keep a pretty fast cadence throughout. We have a number of releases for this month that are closing. So you'll see the key updates for 8.1 for the new visualization. This is our December update, or update 05. And the main aspects are our performance improvements. We have for groups, we have a number of fixes, but the big part is the SOHO, what we call SOHO changes to the UI. And then moving into the next quarter, we'll be very focused on the ION integrations, and basically it isn't just allowing data exchange. It's the complete UI necessary to engage a CRM user with ERP data. So you'll see access to a number of items and allow ERP to be the single source of the truth for what ERP needs to be, what type of data it needs to hold. And you'll have that easily and accessible right from CRM right from the CRM interface. And then within the Q2 timeframe, we'll have our A2 release, which will be a full feature release with things like the workflow that I mentioned, as well as a number of improvements. And then the ION integration will continue to improve with two-way, and then we'll increase additional business objects. And then towards our October timeframe, we'll release Mingle, as well as some of the additional ION-enabled tools. And then we're expecting to complete our Infor CRM UI redesign by the December timeframe of 2015. And so stay tuned for lots of great stuff as we go through, and continue to improve at a rapid pace with some really great talent. So with that, I'm handing it off to, sorry, there's one other section that allows me to talk about a couple other things. One, which is just extending ourselves and the number of business partners in the ecosystem. We're very excited about all of our partners, especially Starfish and Sam's team. Go ahead. One of the highlights that I wanted to mention within one of our partners, which is the Spotfire partner, they have an amazing release that we're going to capitalize on, which enables virtual mapping of data overlaid on a map. So it's excellent. It allows you to be able to leverage your data today at a zip code level, so you'll be able to analyze worldwide data through this mechanism. We've also completely redesigned the dashboards to what we think will enable performance monitoring, but also coaching, as well as single user type of evaluation of the data, their performance, and as well as their team's performance. So things like configuring scoring, such as needs detection scoring for tickets, and close rate influencers for sales. We've introduced semi-predictive analysis that allows you to do weighting on those, and then you can monitor and flag tickets that need attention, for example. So stay tuned for that. Very cool stuff. And with that, the last just slide to talk about is, Infor CRM is the right solution. It now is backed by a really great company that allows us to realize a number of our aspirations, as well as turbocharge our roadmap. And so you'll see a number of items continue to improve and allow us to differentiate in the ways we traditionally differentiate, but we take on a number of new items. So we have a great backing. We have a lot of great things that we're working on, and hopefully this gave you some insight into what to expect for 2015. If you have any other questions with the and want to participate either on the community itself, here's some items to take a look at with from the Twitter, Facebook, number of YouTube videos that are out there. So if you're a bit lost as we switch from our community, Saleslogix community, to the Infor community, this is a couple places for you to monitor and follow. So Sam, this is all yours.
Thanks, Dave. Why don't we just go right to the next slide. So we're going to talk a little bit about how the market has reacted to the acquisition of Saleslogix, the new Infor CRM. And what I really want to do is start out with a discussion of what happened instantly. Because of Infor's backing and place in the market, Nucleus Research actually moved them from the bottom right quadrant, which everyone knows, bottom left quadrant, which everyone knows you don't want to be in, to the top left quadrant, which is the leader category, versus a core provider. And that happened literally within weeks of the acquisition. But in 3 months, if you go look at G2 Crowd, which is crowdsourced, they moved from the niche space to the contender space as well. And we really expect to see, based on this vision, companies like Leader and Forrester to do the same thing, to move them up. Because frankly, if you look at the feature set that Dave is going to provide in a year, you know, through the next 12 months, you're highly competitive with product companies like Microsoft and Salesforce. Why don't we go to the next slide? And the analysts basically at Newfleet Research said that Infor has become a more formidable competitor on usability in the CRM suite space, primarily because of the strength that Ion and Mingle brings, as well as the new UI that Hook and Loop has helped design. So I think this is really major steps that they've done. And if you really look at, you know, the fact that they're adding in, if you think about what were the missing pieces in Infor CRM, you know, those were the things that are being brought to you by Mingle, things that are going to be brought to you by Ion, the workflow and the UI really are the missing pieces, and the analytics, which they're rolling out right now. So from a competitive perspective, this is really a highly competitive product now. And you know, for those of you who, obviously all of you own it, and I know some people always talk about looking elsewhere, and I don't think that's something they need to do, because everything that you're going to want is going to be in the product rather quickly. Go to the next slide. And so there's a lot of PR about this. We'll just skip this one and pop to the next one, where you can see these are just some of the announcements. Now, I circled my shameless I do the CRM Talk podcast, and we did a whole entire show on Infor CRM, and in fact, the last show, we've done now 2 entire shows on Infor CRM. This was about the acquisition. Prior to it, and we did one after the acquisition, discussing the product and the future of the product. And so on the next slide, I've actually have some things that you may want to look at. First of all, you can hear more about what I believe, truthfully, is taken a product that was really, you know, a non-competitor and turned it into a competitor literally overnight. I really believe that this is one of the strongest competing products now in the marketplace because of the purchase. And I've also included some other things. For example, if you'd like to see an overview of what Infor CRM is and how it fits into the Infor strategy, there's a video on YouTube you can watch, and we'll make sure you get these slides. Also, if you'd like to see a quick overview of Ion and what it means, there's a short video, and then if you want a much longer video, about an hour and a half actually, the second one is a complete deep dive into the Ion product, and then the bottom one is about a 3 to 5 minute video on Mingle and what Mingle provides, and you can look at that as well. I've been you know, looking at all the products that Infor produces, and am amazed on how well they will fit into the CRM suite that Dave is working on, because frankly it's amazing the stuff they have that I never knew about, and it truly is amazing to see it. So here's some videos just to get you started out. We pop to the next slide. What we're doing to support them, obviously we're going to continue to support our existing cloud and existing on-premise customers, whether you're Windows or web-based. But we're also adding some new services around customers that are cloud-based as well. And so we're putting together right now a cloud migration service really focused on helping customers who are on-premise and want to go to a cloud solution to get them into the Infor cloud infrastructure. And then we're expanding our support programs to work with cloud. So for example, today we offer a remote administration mostly for customers who are on-premise, we're going to be expanding that remote administration program to work with cloud customers and change the pricing because there's different administration options in the cloud. And by change I meant lower. The other side of it is we've added a managed care service, which includes, frankly, everything you would want in managing your environment. So not only the administration part, but we'll help put together budgets for doing upgrades and making sure the upgrades are working effectively, as well as doing customizations. And again, upgrades are much simpler in the cloud environment, so we will help that. We'll help you with the testing and the process of getting yourself staying current with the current version. And then for those of you who want to upgrade to the cloud, we'll help you with an upgrade assessment. And I should also add, by the way, that we also have plans to support ION with our Starfish product. We're going to have a ION connector for Starfish sometime in the second quarter of next year. So we can go on. And then we put together a special offer for those folks who really are interested in going to cloud. We will, if you go to cloud sometime in the first half of next year and provide a case study about going to the cloud, we'll give you $2,000 off the upgrade price, the migration price, I should say. And with that, we're going to open it up to questions. So I'm going to try to figure out how to unmute everyone's line here.
Muted.
Oh, I was told, can you just submit the questions through the question panel? Well, I don't. So one of the question is there a risk given Infor's vertical focus if our vertical is not in the existing list? No, I don't believe we will continue to support integrations and solutions that are outside of Infor's vertical space. What Infor is really doing is combining their ERP with Infor CRM to come up with a verticalized solution, but that doesn't preclude us from building verticals ourselves or industry-specific solutions, and that will, as far as I know, that will not continue to change. Dave, you want to answer, is the LAN client completely dead? No, I think Dave has dropped off. The LAN client is not dead. I believe they're going to continue to support it. Everything I've heard says they're going to continue to support the LAN client moving forward. Right now, because the mobile platform supports HTML5 based phone solution. Sorry, the question is on mobile side, what phone platforms will be supported, and it's the HTML5. If your phone's browser supports HTML5, the mobile client will work. I believe they're working on native apps for iOS and Android, but I don't know the timing of that or when that is planned.
Hi, Sam. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Somehow went on mute, so sorry about that. Happy to, I heard the past couple questions, and your assessment of the LAN was correct, and your assessment of the verticals were correct. So Infor is very, very committed to their customers. So they they plan to have customers for life, and Lorcan usually ends up telling one story too, that once you're part of the Infor family, you're part of the Infor family. So they take it seriously. But as for the mobile, yes, we are working on native apps. Our main focus will continue to be the HTML5 client, but we are working with customers to build out the platform to allow a person to rapidly build native clients if that's desired in order to reach deeper customization or device awareness. So things like offline will likely force us to go more native, but we're still holding out to our client libraries will stay rich enough without going native. So that's more to come, and you'll see us deliver more native apps, but they'll be very specific to a customer.
Do we have any other questions out there? Well, I want to take time to thank Lorcan and Dave for helping us present this. I think it was exceptionally important to get everyone to understand how great this move of Saleslogix sale to Infor has been, and I hope you find that that is true as well. We are here at Technology Advisors incredibly excited about the relationship and the future with working with Infor CRM.
Thank you, Sam.
And with that, I guess.
And thank you, everybody. We do appreciate it.
And I'll give everyone 9 minutes back in their day. Thank you.